What's going on, fellow A-Plusers? Welcome back once again to a brand new episode of A-Plus Opinions, guys. Your home for your nerd pop culture news and reviews. As always, it is I, your host, Adam Perez. We are, in fact, back, ladies and gentlemen, this week as we are getting ready and prepared for DC FanDome, ladies and gentlemen, as it has officially kicked off today. We wind up having ourselves our Wonder Woman 1984 panel that went ahead and dropped around 12 o'clock today. It was about 30 minutes long or so. Fantastic introduction and a great way to go ahead and kick off FanDome. But we're going to be here all day today, guys. We've got at least 5 live shows and breakdowns for you guys today. But today we wanted to go ahead and kick off by talking about Wonder Woman 1984. It's not just myself. That's right, guys. We have got the gang together for this massive celebration. What's going on, fellas? It's good to see you. We got Stewart up here in the corner along with Indy hiding himself under a fantastic looking Wonder Woman fleece blanket, man. Did you make that yourself? That's the question I want to know.
Secret.
The talent that this man has, the talent. But guys, thank you very much for certainly joining us today. It's 24 hours of DC FanDome. There's a plethora of panels for you guys to certainly enjoy. If you haven't done so yet, go over to dcfandom.com. It is completely free. You just sign up, log in, and all the panels are certainly available to you throughout the day, all pre-recorded, but it seems as though they've got everything going on time, guys. So get in there if you certainly haven't. So today what we want to go ahead and do, break down the panel for Wonder Woman 1984. If you didn't happen to get the chance to see it, or even if you didn't, you just want to talk about it, that's what we're here to go ahead and do all day today. So we're going to have a ton of live content from you, for you guys here from DC FanDome, as well as tomorrow kind of trickling in as well, guys. So, fellas, before we even get into the news here, because we wind up actually getting ourselves a brand new trailer for Wonder Woman 1984, but before we even get into the trailer and talk about it, I got to ask you guys, what do you guys think overall about the panel in general?
One thing that got me excited is they finally confirmed something that I was like pretty sure was going to happen regardless, but they did confirm that, you know, it's almost like a role reversal between Gal Gadot and Chris Pine, in the sense of, in the first movie, Gal Gadot was definitely the fish out of water, you know, being part of you know, being in America like during the World War I era, the era that Chris Pine had kind of grew up in. And so, you know, it was funny for her trying to fit into that world. But now, you know, Chris Pine has been gone for so long, Gal Gadot's lived in this world for so long, you know, she's essentially spent a good chunk of her life here now. So now with Chris Pine coming back, but not knowing anything about the world, I do like how he is now the fish out of water. And they do kind of talk about that a little bit during the panel. So it's like, I know that we have that to look forward to.
I'll tell you one huge thing, and this is something we talked about when we first got the reveal of Wonder Woman 1984. I do believe on the episode of Hero Report. And one of the things that I was going to be worried about was Cheetah's costume and the cheesiness of the setting, you know what I'm saying, of the 80s. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the fact that they were able to make fun of that at the same time, we actually got to see what the cinematic look of the costumes and the backdrop was going to look like. This, as I said in the chat, this trailer actually sold me on the movie, especially actually being able to see Cheetah full costume, and the way that they're going to tell that story seems like it's going to be very, very entertaining.
Yeah, I definitely agree, man. If there's anything that I took away from the trailer, from this, not the trailer, but the panel in general, man, I honestly love just the chemistry that everybody has together. I mean, I'm sure the idea of being on set for several months will certainly make anybody close, but just the relationships, the humor, the laughter that you can kind of tell just from the panel in general, just infectious, man. I like, for me, like, their enthusiasm for this film makes me even more enthused. We did see that Patty Jenkins still plans on releasing this movie in theaters. I believe the release date is like October this year, if I'm not mistaken. But she did say that, I mean, just from some of the glimpses that we saw from the trailer and some of the shots, you can see why it's specifically made to be seen in the theaters. I think Chris Pine even mentioned the idea that some of their set pieces were so huge that they had to shut down Pennsylvania Avenue to go ahead and get some shots in. So incredible stuff. But we actually did have 2 guest appearances on this on this panel in here. Both of them, one of them was for a question. We had Venus Williams, most notably known for a fantastic and overall tennis player. Venus Williams joined them, so they wind up getting a question from her. And then, of course, Wonder Woman herself. No, not necessarily Gal Gadot. Linda Carter wind up popping up in here, man, to go ahead and make her presence felt. And you can just immediately just see how everybody loved getting her opportunity to see everybody together. What did you guys think of seeing Linda Carter in there? Were you expecting her?
Not at all.
I wasn't expecting, but you see how quick I snapped a pic when she came up. Like I gotta have me some Linda Carter looking beautiful as ever. And might I say, I am here for Patty Jenkins bangs. I'm here for Patty Jenkins with bangs, y'all. She looked incredible, even in between. You know what I'm saying? Two beautiful women. Like Patty Jenkins looked like a star.
I guess I'd never looked at Patty Jenkins like that until they showed a video of her at the Brazilian convention with the dress outfit she was wearing. I was like, okay, Patty, I see you, Patty. I didn't see you before, but I see you now, Patty. So yeah, I definitely understand that. And also, I thought, concerning the fact that this is considered fandom, DC's FanDome, I am glad that they at least had some fan interactions. Like I know for the second day, like September 12th, they are going to actually be doing like Q&A panels per se for some of these movies. But I thought it was cool that they wind up sprinkling in at least a couple of fan questions, and then most specifically fan art and cosplay designs. What did you guys think about that too?
I love. Oh, sorry, I'll let you go.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. It's just one fan in particular I'm gonna talk about, but go.
I loved with one of the cosplays of Wonder Woman, like by the beach, and Chris. I think it was Chris Pine who said this. Where wait, that's not her stunt double.
Yeah, I was like, I thought that was your stunt double for a second. Yeah, man, some of the cosplayers looked incredible. What did you think, Indy?
Man, Kiara was my energy. The one that was jumping around. She all the Wonder Woman.
Was she the one that jumped into the frame?
Yeah, like she set the tone for me, and that actually lifted my energy level on what I was watching. Because I'm like, if she's this excited, you know what I'm saying, and this is only the first panel that we've seen. What do we have for the rest of the day? I felt like her during the WB Gaming, Montreal gaming thing went on. I popped like she did, but you know what I'm saying. So like, I just can't wait, and there's so much more good stuff that we have. If this is the bar that we got, and we still got all of this to go, like my level just went from like here to here. Like I can't wait.
Speaking of bar, I gotta mention one thing about the trailer real quick, and that is how for the first trailer, I thought it was so amazing when you see her like literally riding a bolt of lightning with the lasso, right? And I'm like, okay, that was a perfect way to end that first trailer. And then we go to this trailer, and that's basically in the beginning. That's how they start this trailer off. So I'm like, oh, you're showing this from the beginning. That means this trailer better show us something to get us even more excited. And it did, guys. I gotta say, like by the end of the trailer, when we see like a little glimpse of that cheetah fight with Wonder Woman, oh my gosh, I was like jumping out of my seat. That was awesome.
When she grabbed her mid-air and it slammed her back down to the ground, like when they went to like that slow motion thing, I'm like, what are they doing? But the way the camera angle went underneath and it came back up behind, bruh. If this is the type of camera shots they're gonna have in this movie, this might set a new bar for fight scenes and just the way movies are filmed.
Oh yeah, and speaking of just Cheetah in general, we do have some shots directly from the trailer. I feel like visually when they showcase Cheetah, not so much necessarily standing still. It's a lot of action shots sort of thing. So it's really hard to kind of see just up close and personal all the details of her costume. But we'll share just some of the reveals and stuff to you. So this is in fact Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. I'm pretty sure it was probably, if there was any villain or any costume design that I feel probably worried people going into this film, it probably was in fact Kristen Wiig as Cheetah. But just from some of the visuals that we've seen, from the CGI, the special effects and stuff, it looks pretty crisp and pretty clean in regards to a lot of her movements. I personally am still waiting for a more close-up shot and things like that. But I thought the action pieces were great. And this is one of the shots that you were talking about here, Indy. The idea of like after she winds up throwing her back down, like a cat, always landing on her feet, and then that shot winds up coming around to show Cheetah in her pouncing stance or landing stance. I think it looks great. I'm still looking forward to seeing a more standard official photo of her. But everything that I've seen so far, even from some of the leaked promotional images that we saw prior, I was really impressed with. But how are you guys liking the costume overall in general? Just the look, I should say.
It's a leap above the mustache fiasco.
Yeah, I thought you could definitely say that.
It makes me want a Thundercats movie. It makes me want a live. That's Chitara right there. It makes me want a live action Thundercats movie. Like if this is where we're at, it's no reason they can't do that movie.
Yeah, no, I completely agree with you, man. Ever since we saw the leaked footage, or I should say the leaked photo of Kristen Wiig as Cheetah, yeah, I've been pushing for a Thundercats live action film, man. I'm like, yeah, if that is the leap in technology that we're at right now, give me a Thundercats film.
Yeah, immediately it made me kind of think of with the Cats movie, how like the excuse with that movie was, oh, you know, we're trying to make people look like cats. What do you expect it to look like? And now we have this, and it's like, okay, well, this would have been a million times better than what we ended up getting in that film.
And also, you know, the one thing about this trailer that I really enjoyed, man, I honestly love the feel of the 80s. Just the idea of just seeing that transition from like the 1912s or 13s or whatever the case may be, all the way to something here like the 1980s. You know, Indy, you did mention the idea that they're not afraid to certainly poke fun at it. And they even showcased that here in some really great moments with Chris Pine, the idea of him trying to get his clothes right, trying to fit in. He's like, parachute pants. Wait, more people parachute these days? Like
just fanny pack, that USA flag fanny pack, man.
Yeah, it definitely just goes to show you, especially like what Stewart was saying, just the idea of now the roles are certainly reversed between these two characters. And I've always loved their chemistry from the very first one, so to kind of see that chemistry established again with their humor and their connection, I cannot wait to see what Chris Pine and Gal Gadot do in the 80s.
Definitely. Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, one thing I love about that whole setting is it feels like they're doing both poking fun of the 80s, but they're also kind of like celebrating it at the same time. So they're not doing it like punching it down or anything like that. They're definitely like saying, oh yeah, 80s were fun, but it was also really silly. We're not denying that either.
Let's not forget about our other villain in the movie. It's not just Cheetah. It's not the Mr. Mandalorian himself. You know what I'm saying? That looking like, don't forget about me. They got him off in the corner he's like all the way in the corner by himself. Like when the first frame, you couldn't even see his face. Like they had him cut out. I mean, Maxwell Lord is going to be a huge, you know what I'm saying, factor in how well this movie does. Movies with multiple villains seem to have a struggle at times, but I really think like Patty Jenkins and the writers have this in line to actually work like it's supposed to work. So it's still not my most anticipated movie that we had on the slate as far as coming. I am looking more forward to this than I am Black Widow now. Remember before it used to be the other way around, and it might just because we've been waiting so long, we haven't seen anything from Black Widow. But I still think out of all the movies that were mentioned, Doctor Strange is still the one that I'm most hyped for. But man, this just jumped to like number 2 or 3 for me, like easily among all those movies we got announced between the next 2 years.
You know, for one of the other things in this trailer that really jumped out at me that I'm really looking forward to is the Olympic Games. We got to see just a brief shot of that, going back to seeing the younger Diana. And I love just the editing of this trailer, how they're cutting from the younger Diana to an older Diana, both of them sort of running at the same time sort of thing. I thought just the narration in here was just beautifully done. I think it was a really stellar trailer, honestly. But honestly, I think for me, the Olympic Games is certainly one of the aspects of this film I'm really looking forward to. Is there any other things that jumped out at you guys from this trailer?
No, I was actually finna mention that Olympic scene. That was really, really, really cool. But even just the narration you know what I'm saying, in the beginning, and it's just the flow of the trailer itself. They didn't do too much, and I might add, didn't show too much. Trailers nowadays have a problem with showing us the entire movie before we go and see the movie, especially all the good parts. Then we get in there like, they could have kept that. Now I can leave.
Yeah, they definitely managed to not show too much, but also at least give us a better idea of what the movie's going to be about. Because I mean, we do see a little bit more Maxwell Lord. We even see maybe some of the motivations of Kristen Wiig's character as Cheetah, like why she goes through a transformation and things like that. Kind of tired of struggling or tired of being maybe somebody that goes unrecognized, or you know what I mean, sort of thing, like wanting to definitely up her level in society for sure and make herself more recognizable, and people actually taking a focus on her, and it clearly seems as though she certainly goes to great lengths to kind of get that. But what did you think, Stewart? What did you really enjoy? Is there any particular scene out of this trailer that you liked?
Dude, the very last fight that we saw between her and Cheetah got me super hyped up. Also, yeah, with Cheetah herself, they do kind of give a little more about her character. Like, there's definitely a huge pettiness to her of like feeling like, you know, Wonder Woman had everything come to her so easily, and you know, her feeling like she's worked so hard for everything, but she still hasn't gotten anywhere. It kind of reminded me of that really old Simpsons episode where Homer had that new coworker who essentially got screwed over his whole life despite being a hard worker, but then he looks at how lazy Homer is and looks at what Homer has going for him. So it's kind of like that's what the vibe I got from Cheetah was anyway. So I do look forward to seeing how that plays out in the film.
Yeah, and for me, the action really stood out also. Some great action pieces. I love actually one of the new scenes that we saw, her twirling her lasso as she's deflecting the bullets in the White House. That was a cool shot. And I'm going to tell you, there's another shot in here, kind of going off of what you mentioned earlier, Stewart, about seeing her riding sort of like the lightning bolt with her lasso. She seems to be riding, or at least holding onto a jet plane or some sort of plane in here, because she's also in the sky going through the clouds while she's holding onto her lasso. And then we also, I think we did see Chris Pine's character flying a jet. So I got to ask you guys, do you think we get an invisible jet in this movie at any point in time? Do you think she's riding a lasso behind her invisible jet, or you think that's Chris Pine's jet?
I didn't think of that, and now that you've brought that up, I feel really dumb for not thinking of it before. So yeah, I think that is a major possibility now.
I would love an invisible jet in here, or an invisible plane. Like even if it's Stephen Trevor's, you know what I'm saying? Like, because he even mentioned the idea, like, oh, they've got radar now, they can find me. Maybe she's like, you know what? Maybe that'll help solve the issue. I don't know. I'm just throwing ideas out there because of the quick clip that I saw of her holding on to something with her lasso in the sky.
I definitely believe that's something they're teasing. Does this version of Wonder Woman fly like she does now, like in the cartoon?
So I feel like she's probably like the Hulk, I feel like, and can like jump really far, maybe.
Because that's one of the things I think that has taken the invisible jet away. But I think they missed a huge opportunity in having maybe Wayne Tech develop her something that was like invisible, that looks invisible because radars couldn't pick it up, that actually wasn't, you know what I'm saying, type invisible or something like that.
Well, I don't think by this time in the 80s, I don't even know if she's got that type of relationship with the Waynes, but maybe.
I'm just saying, but I don't think we're going to get it anytime soon, because even though she's riding lightning bolts, she's fighting cat people and stuff like that, and a visible jet just seems like a little bit too unbelievable.
It's the 80s, man. It's the 80s. But you know, you're absolutely right. Like I would love it if they wind up making this version of Wonder Woman fly, though. I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
When it comes to the unbelievable factor, though, it's one of those things where ever since the MCU became a thing, I now feel like movies can get away with showing anything from the comic books. It's really just about how you present it. It doesn't matter how cheesy it is, as long as it's presented in a way that feels believable to that world. I feel like they can get away with it.
Yeah, you might be right.
We'll definitely see what happens, but it's like, man, I would love that interaction, like in the future, where like, depending on which Batman you have, because we all know that eventually, sometime in the future, going to get back together. Like you're going to have another crossover movie, whether it's the whole Justice League or maybe like a couple of characters. And I just want that Bruce Wayne talking about, hey, come get on my plane so we can get to where we got to go. And then she's like, why? Mine's right there. And he's looking, and then she just hops in this invisible thing and it pulls off. And he's just looking like, I got to get one of those. You know what I'm saying? Like jealous of what she has would be amazing to me.
Guys, definitely listen. We definitely want to know your thoughts in regards to this. If you had the opportunity to check out the Wonder Woman 1984 panel, or even just a trailer or some of the glimpses of Cheetah, we definitely want to know your thoughts in regards to that into the comment section box below. There is a couple of panels that are upcoming here. We've got the Multiverse 101, I believe, at 1:15. Then they're going to be having the Flash panel, I believe, like later, like right after that. I can't remember what time it was though, but definitely go ahead and check it out, guys. We will be back later on this afternoon to certainly discuss that along with the Suicide Squad. So definitely go ahead and pay attention to our Facebook page as we're going to have all the updates and keep you guys posted throughout the day as well. So if we're not doing live videos, guys, our Facebook page will provide you with new posters, new exclusive first looks, new trailers. So definitely go ahead and stay tuned to our Facebook page for more information. Overall, guys, are you hyped for Wonder Woman 1984?
Yes.
I just made a blanket in like 5 minutes before we started. That's how hype I am. Like, come on, man. I'm probably gonna make a blanket during everything we do. We're gonna see what happens.
I love it. I love it. Quick shout out also to some people that did join us today. Kevin was in the house today. Thank you very much, man. Mel certainly joins us. Everybody certainly seems thrilled and excited for this. Alex certainly coming through, and Anita as well, ladies and gentlemen. So, hey, guys, definitely follow us later on this afternoon. We definitely will be back. In the meantime, we're going to go ahead and catch up with some more DC fandom, ladies and gentlemen. So until next time, do us a big favor. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and keep it A+. We'll see you later.